Welcome to Kaizen Time, part of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast, where we provide constant improvement to businesses through timely, actionable financial solutions. Do you want answers to your financial questions? Email us at bsp@kaizencpas.com. I'm your host, Mark Valesky. Now let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Kaizen Time, and joined by Eric Jorn, a partner here at the firm. Hello, Eric.
Hey.
How's 2025 going?
It's amazing.
Is it an amazing year?
It is amazing start to the year.
I feel like it's an amazing year if you're good with the number 5, like things that are divisible by 5. It's got the 5, it's got the 25, it's got 20.
We're gonna talk about today 25 things that no, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna talk about 5 things.
5. We got to make this digestible, right? Yes. I'm gonna fall asleep by number 25.
Well, I don't think anyone can really keep track of 20 things they should do based off of 25 or 100 or 20, 25. I mean, realistically, the things we talk about in this case, the 5, these are like the 5 key ones.
Absolutely.
If you can nail these down, you're gold. When we start getting to like 25 things, all of a sudden it's like, this one's more just kind of nuance.
Yeah, I look at these as 5 very foundational items that I think, and we're gonna really focus kind of on tax. 5 foundational things that really set you up for a successful tax year.
And this is for any small business, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do this. What's number 1?
All right. So number 1 is, let's look at your owner's compensation, right? Is this maximized? We've talked a lot about maximizing ownership comp. And this is really, a lot of it's geared towards, say, S Corp shareholders. But if I'm a C corporation, it's even good. Hey, is this the most efficient way I can compensate myself while meeting also the reasonable compensation guidelines from the IRS? But our lowest hanging fruit we see in reorganizing the tax structure for a business is owner's comp set way too high.
So, and we've seen this before, right? Like this really is no surprise. So realistically, it's look at your compensation and is it the right choice for what you're doing with your business?
Absolutely.
Okay. It's number 2.
Number 2 is, we're then going to look at the entity structure of my business, right? Maybe I'm a sole proprietor, and last year was a pretty good year, but I'm about to blow this year out of the water. Maybe I'm a C Corp and I've been thinking about switching to an S corporation, or maybe I'm a partnership and it makes sense that, hey, I got investors knocking on my door, and I definitely shouldn't do something dumb like become an S corporation if I got investors knocking on my door.
Yep. Okay. So both of these seem to be they're not even really doing anything. It's more just keeping an eye.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Right. And these are great both of those are great conversations to have with your accountant. Hey, let's have a 2025 tax kickoff meeting. Let's not just not do an once a year end of the year meeting, and let's not wait till I file my tax return. Hey, let's just touch base on it. Hey, am I still paying myself the right amount? Is my structure really optimized? Here are my goals for 1 to 5 years. Is my entity actually structured in a way that is going to maximize my tax benefit and my business for the future?
No, that actually makes a lot of sense. And again, this isn't something you have to do, but something you keep an eye on, and then something you can work towards.
Exactly.
Okay. Number 3,
we're going to talk about, or we're going to put retirement plans back on our radar for the year.
I didn't expect that at all.
Yep. So here's the thing is here's the cycle that we always see. Maybe I don't have and this is generally the business doesn't have retirement. And a lot of times this is newly profitable businesses. Obviously great tax planning maneuver is to contribute money into a retirement plan. Well, if we wait to year end to plan for it, we have to have, say, a 401k or a simple IRA plan established by October 1st. So if we're year end planning in, say, September or October or even November, it's probably too late to put a retirement plan in place and also fund my retirement plan. So we're, again, at the beginning of the year, how do we set ourselves up for success? Do I have a plan in place? What are my contributions? And do I want to set them out to evenly max out through the year, so we're not scrambling at the end of the year to do a $25,000 contribution at the nth hour?
Gotcha.
Let's set ourselves up for success and take one stress, complexity off our plate. Let's make sure we set up our retirement plan for the whole entire year.
Okay. Number 4.
Number 4, we talk about health savings accounts. Again, it's one of these things we forget about until maybe open enrollment. Hey, we just went through open enrollment. Did I maybe implement a new plan that is considered a high deductible healthcare policy that qualifies for me to participate in a health savings account? Again, only triple net tax is your tax benefit.
And if you have not watched that podcast episode, you are missing out.
It is
mind-blowing, the amount of savings you can make.
Absolutely. And it's just such an interesting little wrinkle in the tax code that you should really take it. If you have a health care plan that is eligible for an HSA and you're not using that as a vehicle, you're just missing out completely.
Yeah. Don't let the government know about this. Keep it hush.
They're fine, but they're fine with it because it is pushing something that people should be doing, which is saving for medical expenses. Medical expenses are very large. Number one reason for bankruptcy
for human beings. Yep.
So it is something that I think will continue to grow in emphasis going forward. You already have it all set up, arranged. As that continues to grow in availability, you can really be early on able to take advantage of it versus kind of waiting on the sidelines.
Yep. I get you. All right, last one. Be a surprise.
Last one. Ooh. Do I want to throw a curveball or do I just want to go by plan?
I almost feel like there should be a drum roll.
It is I'm going to actually throw a curveball. I've read a book. I read a book in 2024 called Built to Sell.
Okay.
And that book essentially says the most successful businesses are created and they are grown and built in a way in which that business can be sold at any time. It doesn't mean you want to sell it. It doesn't even matter if you don't want to sell it for 20 years, because the things that make a business so appealing when you go to market to sell your business are things that actually cause a business to run extraordinarily well. Why? Because third-party investors want to invest in businesses that are ran efficiently, ran without having somebody to jump in and put out fires all the time, just ones with different layers of management and things are really buttoned up, tightened up. And so I think I'm going to cap this off with saying I would read that book. You can also we provide to all of our new clients a book of called The E-Myth. That book actually kind of lays out all those foundations. Built to Sell just kind of presents this in a different fashion. But spend the time, go read that book, and then look across your organization and say, what changes can I make in 2025 to further put me in a better position to quote unquote sell my business?
Well, and we've done podcasts on how to sell a business, what you should do. And really a lot of them are simple things like systems and processes, because you want that if for whatever reason you're not running the company and someone comes in, they want that, something they can rely on. Hey, this is how it's done. That the people working there know how to do it. And if one of those employees, something happens to them, are there people in place who can take care of those?
Yep.
And that's what people who are investors are looking for.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do a rundown. Owner's compensation. Make sure they got the right structure.
Yep.
Number 2, structure in general.
Those two things right there are probably our number one tax savings findings that we find.
Well, and even when a business comes in here, that's something one of the first things you guys look at.
We visit that every single time.
Yep. Number 3, just having retirement locked down.
Yep.
That you have something going into it or a program set up, more or less the same for the HSA. And then finally, just have your business ready to sell, even though you are not unless you are.
I love it. And actually, no, we have an extra couple minutes.
All right.
I'm going to sneak in our bonus number 6 because I'm going to go back to my plan. So always a good time to implement new benefits. There are a lot of different programs out there. Talk to your employees, see what things that are going to move the needle for them personally, And then let's have a discussion around them and see, is there tax advantaged programs that we can benefit programs that we can implement. So one of the big ones that has come into play now is you can actually do an educational reimbursement for student loan payments. New little wrinkle that got snuck in with I believe it was the Secure Act. But if you don't go and have those conversations, then, first you got to figure out, is that going to move the needle for your team? And if it does, B, hey, let's make sure we can set it up in a way that makes it tax optimized.
Okay. So for example, if you're saying, hey, I got a bunch of young kids right out of college that I've brought in.
Yep.
This may be advantageous. Talk to them, see if it's viable.
Yep.
If that's the case, implement
probably reimburse them around $6,000 a year tax-free through that program. So it's a nice benefit. I mean, that could cover their entire debt service, and it makes it tax-free.
And they're happy employees.
Absolutely.
They're going to stick around.
Absolutely. And as we learned in 2024, one of the most important things you can do is retain your employees.
Yep, because the cost of getting new ones,
astronomical.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Kaizen Time, part of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast. If you like what you heard, subscribe and leave a 5-star review. This podcast has been brought to you by Kaizen CPAs Plus Advisors, providing advisory and accounting services to help you grow your business. Learn more at kaizencpas.com or email us at bsb@kaizencpas.com.